Hi ladies! So earlier today I did a Jamberry removal method video, and right now I'd like to do for you all an application video. This is just a little how-to for Jamberry applications. So the first and most important thing is prep your nails. So I've already done that. I've filed them, trimmed them, done everything I want to do to make them, the shape that I would like them to be. And then I went ahead with my cuticle pusher. I pushed back my cuticles. That's really, really important. And then with my orange stick, went back through and just make sure that I really got at all those invisible cuticles, that really thin layer that actually sits on your nails. Those sometimes, it won't necessarily cause your Jamberry to fall off, but can make them lift in spots where you've got a little bit of invisible cuticle. So really important to really get at it with the orange stick. Then I took my buffer and I buffed my nails just to kind of, prep them, get a nice even surface. And then I went ahead and washed with some Dawn dish soap to get off any excess oils, and also hit them with some rubbing alcohol. So my nails are completely prepped, and I just like to show you how I usually apply my Jamberries. So I already have 3 applied because I want to show you how to apply your Jamberry properly, but then once it's applied, you do need to remove the excess wrap from the tip of your nail. And to do that, it's important that your Jamberry has already cooled. If you do that while it's still warm, you won't have as much success, I've found. So I already have 3 that are done and cooled so that then I can show you how to remove the excess. But first I'll show you on my pointer finger here how to apply your Jamberry. So I have my Jamberries here. So it's really important to choose the correct size for your nail. You don't want your Jamberry to be too wide for the nail. Any piece of the wrap that is touching skin will definitely lift. You want to make sure that every part of the wrap is touching a portion of your nail. So it's better for the Jamberry to be a little bit narrower than your nail rather than be just perfect fit or what seems like a perfect fit. So I already kind of know that for my pointer finger, I use the second size on the sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and just trim a little bit now. Some people are really fussy about not touching the Jamberry at all with their fingers, and if I'm being a good consultant, I would say the same thing, but I'm not too worried about that. So I'm just going to lift up this sheet, and I'm going to trim off just enough for my pointer finger. So next thing I'm going to do is take my orange stick, and I'm just going to stick this to the corner. And I've got my heater here, which is already all warmed up and running, my awesome little Jamberry heater. So I'm just going to heat up this wrap until it's pliable. So you see it start to curl there. Because this is a sparkle wrap, it's a little bit thicker, and they do tend to curl like that. So that's how I know that my Jamberry is warmed and ready to go. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Jamberry and I'm going to put it right into the rounded part goes in your cuticle, and I'm going to put it on the cuticle, and then I'm just going to make sure that it lines up with the side of my nail. This is how I found the most success. Now look, right now that looks really weird, but I can see that it's lined up nicely on this side, not all the way to the edge, giving myself a little sliver of nail there. And then I'm just going to kind of pull and stretch the rest of this across the rest of my nail. Okay, now here's where your rubber cuticle pusher comes in handy. So you're just going to really press this down and make sure that the entire wrap is pressed down firmly, and apply a lot of pressure so that we are getting a good seal as we apply. So now my Jamberry's down. It's not touching any skin. I've actually got a little sliver of nail on this side and a little sliver of nail on this side. No one would ever notice. And what I've also started doing is really pushing down on the edges with my orange stick, because I feel like I can just put a little bit more tough pressure on there. So I'm going to push down all around my edges with my orange stick. Okay, so next I'm going to take my scissors my nail scissors. You can also use a nail clipper, that's fine. And I'm just gonna trim off any excess, okay? So just a little bit of excess here on the end that I'm gonna trim off just to make it easier when I file. Okay, so that's done. Now, this is where you would go ahead and file it off. But I'm going to wait on this one since it's still a little bit warm, and I'm going to go ahead and do my pinky, which is already cooled off. So usually I'll apply to my whole hand with just trimming with the scissors, and then I'll go back over with the file. So I'm going to use my Jamberry nail file because these guys are awesome. It's super coarse, and so that excess comes off so easily. So I'm going to go ahead and go at a 90-degree angle with my pinky nail and just file straight down. I don't want to file back upwards because then I'm going to lift the Jamberry back off of my nail. So I'm just going to file down, down, down. So my goal with the Jamberry file or a more coarse file is just to get off all the excess. Okay, I'm not trying to take off more of my nail, just the excess wrap, okay? So you saw that just peel right off. This little sliver just peels right off, falls off, done. Now, I usually like to hit the sides too. So if I'm looking at my nail, I like to go along the side of it here and then same thing, go straight down, just so I make sure that no wrap is hanging over the side there and it's not gonna snag on a corner. And then same thing on the other side. Now, you could stop there, absolutely, but I like to take just a tiny sliver more off. So the way I'm going to do that is, since I already hit it with this really coarse file, I don't want a rough end. So I've got just a regular nail file here, and I'm going to use the finer side. Some people like to use a glass nail file. That's awesome. If you want to invest in that, go for it. I just buy a bunch of these, and I use the fine side. And what I'm going to do is take this now, instead of at a 90-degree angle, I'm going to angle it just a little bit back. I'm not going to take much off, but just a tiny sliver more, so that I make sure that my wrap is not coming over the edge of my nail at all, so that, you know, if I'm picking at something or I'm using my hands, that it's not snagging, my wrap is not going to snag on anything. Okay, so I'm just taking a little bit more off, tiny bit. Okay, not enough that it's going to look bad, but just enough to expose a little bit more nail. Okay, and so that's that. So I don't know if you can see, but just a tiny sliver there. Okay, so I'm basically done, but I'm just going to hit this one more time with some heat. So I'm going to come back to my heater here. I'm going to get heat on my nail one more time, and I'm just going to press again with my cuticle pusher and just really make sure that everything is down tight, and then I'm all done. So I will go back over all the rest of my nails, you know, get them with the coarse file and then the fine file, reheat and apply pressure. And that's how I apply my Jamberry nail wraps. Mine usually last 2+ weeks. I usually take them off just because I like to switch them out. So I hope that helps you. And I hope you have a great rest of the evening. Bye.